Alright, IMay, roster, we did it. Amazing J in the top lane, Ben 4 in the jungle, Athena mid, Jinzhao, and Road in the bot lane. Exactly you'd expect. They haven't changed literally anyone. Their road here was a 2-1 victory over Suning Gaming, who were formerly T-Bear Gaming. And I think another victory before that. I don't have that up in this tab. Crap. Where is IMay? Oh, so they won 2-0 over Oh My Dream, who were an LSBL team, and then 2-1 over Suning. And the Suning series is weird. Like, they could have won game 1, but they lost. Amazing J was super fed on Fiora. And then they won the next 2 games, and it was a weird series. Weird series. I think OMG are going to smash this series. By the way, I said that before the game started today. I have OMG 3-0. I think they're going to come in mad after all the drama last playoffs, and they're just going to try and crush IMay. And I think IMay haven't looked that convincing yet at this point. So interested to see, but who knows? Like, OMG could come in like not practiced at all and not ready to play at all and get smashed. Who knows? We need to get in the game so y'all stop talking about Korean top laners. Anyway, OMG. You know them, you might love them, you might hate them, but here they are. The historic organization moving on to new and untested talent and succeeding in the spring split. I'll be interested to see how ready they are to deal with IMay after the interesting pause timings of the quarterfinals. So, we shall see who is starting and if it's exactly who we expect. In the top lane, Jiang. In the jungle, Jaeko. In mid, Icon. Bot lane, SMLZ, and 5. Is that the jungler who I expected? That is not World 6 at all. Alright, who wants to tell me about OMG's jungler? They've played World 6 in every game since February 11th. Let's have me a look at some... Alright. Jaeko, previously known as ZX. Played for Oh My Dream for 2 years before, so he played for their Challenger org for 2 years before this. Just joined them this month, it looks like, so they're going to give him a run out in this game. This will be his, I guess, not really LPL debut, but debut on this stage. So, that'll be interesting to see. Obviously, a change-up for OMG. We'll see if World 6 is brought in, if the series goes badly. Like, Ben and 957 were in the WE series, even though that didn't really matter. So yeah, good to see a player who spent his couple of years in Challenger, working his craft, brought up to the main roster, and have an opportunity to show his stuff off on the big stage. Let's see what he played in Challenger. I've got a match history for LSBL. What do you play, Jaeko? Also, chat, if I'm saying that wrong and you know, let me know, because I'm still very much working on my Chinese pronunciation. Forgot how boring spring jungle picks were. So we've got Lee Sin and Graves and Rengar. One Ivern game in which he was bad. One Kha'Zix game in which he was mediocre and did not win. One Olaf game which he won and looks like was fine. One Gragas game in which he carried. A couple of Gragas games, actually. So the Ivern has not been a good pick for him. He's played a ton of Rengar. but he is a Gragas flex player. So we didn't see Gragas at all last matchup because we were focused a little bit more on the carries in top lane. We've seen Gragas a lot in this tournament. We have seen him flex to jungle a couple times. So the fact that Jayco's got that in his pocket is good to know, because that could be a thing OMG could play with in draft if they want to mess with that a little bit. I left Spotify running, and I'm going to turn that off before I forget to turn it off. So it'll be interesting. I have a thing I will say is I have not liked the Rengar games I've seen so far in Demacia Cup. It just has felt unimpactful at many stages of the game. At this point, after getting knocked down a few pegs after kind of running the spring split. So I don't really like that as a pick. We've seen players tunnel onto it. We've seen teams tunnel onto it, and it just really hasn't worked very well. It worked really well in one game in which it was that what was that? That was the Legend Dragon team comp where they ran Jarvan, Rengar, Zillion, and just had Jarvan and Rengar go in, and whoever was going to die first gets Zillion ulted and just kill the crap out of the enemy's backline, which worked remarkably well. So that was fun, but that's like the only good Rengar game I've seen so far this entire tournament. So I'd prefer to not see the Rengar, but good Lee Sin's fine. He's played the Graves and been fine, and the Gragas Flex brings a little interesting flavor to the draft. They need to probably stay away from the Ivern pick, though. It's kind of like you have Ivern players and you have not Ivern players in the current meta. Like, it's a great ban against some teams because their jungler is really competent on, has good pathing, smart ganks, and is comfortable on the playstyle of the champion, whereas other junglers just don't feel good on it. And from the looks of his like 2 Ivern games that he's played, not his style of thing. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to see his kind of big stage debut here for OMG. And we're into pick ban. Alright, first bans, Shen and Ivern. An interesting fact about IMay that if you didn't watch their best of 3 with Suning, you may not know, is in those 3 games they played 15 different champions, which was a nice little achievement unlocked there. So they really don't have any like obvious target prepositions. We saw a nice Zillion game from Athena late in that series, so it's a little pocket pick we've got around. Amazing J brought out the Camille, which I thought was a totally dead pick and actually looked pretty good on it in game 2 of that series. So we've got, what have we got so far? Karma we expect. We'll see if OMG bans the Triumvirate finishes the Triumvirate ban with a Lulu ban to ban all the shielding annoying things. Ivern ban into Ben 4 is what it is. That's fine. He has played it and looked okay on it. And then Shen and Fizz, a couple of top lane bans. You banned out the Fizz because of the Fizz flex possibilities. It's fair. And a target Camille ban. If you're going to target ban Amazing J, I don't know about the Camille. I like the Fiora better, even if the Camille looked fine. That's an interesting choice. And it means you give up first pick Lulu. Oh. Okay. What do you get in return for getting the Lulu? Because, like, whenever you see a pick ban, like, with that weird Camille priority, what do you get in return for that, right? Because you're going to get 2 picks. You give it to Lulu and you get Elise, and you might, like, maybe Twitch? Elise Galio. Okay, so that's a pretty strong core. Elise, I've been really impressed with some Elise games. And I don't know how far back I'm going to have to go to find an Elise game on Jayco. It's more than 50 games. So that's not going to be a thing. He has not played it like at all. Yeah, like not at all the entire spring. So all right, throw all that nice jungle prep talk I talked about out the window. Get to see the list. And I like the Galio priority. I feel like Amazing J probably has something up his sleeve that's fine playing into the Galio, which is fine. Ben 4 with the Lee Sin pick, not a surprise. Comfort pick, but one of the best junglers up, probably the best jungler up. At this point, and then the Caitlyn, Lulu is a super punishing, super strong bottom lane for Jinjiao and Road to take advantage of, so good on them. Love IMay's draft so far. So much possibility. Like, love that. So what does OMG? OMG could go full counter the composition and lock in both solo lanes here. The Thresh makes sense if that's what you want to do into the Lulu. It's been huge Thresh priority so far this tournament. I don't know if because I don't know if it's because he's a top tier pick or because players are just super comfortable on him. But it's been really high priority so far. So we'll see. But that's fine. So you can't get knocked down to like an even more punishing matchup into the Lulu, which is probably fair. Alright, what are OMG going to ban out? Obviously, IMay went the traditional way, picked bot lane and jungle. With how OMG's ban phase has looked, they're probably going to ban out 2 more top laners. The Fiora ban is not a surprise. Probably the Cannon next from OMG, if I was guessing. And IMay can ban away ADCs if they want. Banning away the LeBlanc is fair. A ban against Icon, that's fine. I would expect the Cannon ban here, real honestly. Like, Galio can do okay into Cannon, but it's just such an annoying pick, and Amazing J has shown extreme propensity to enjoy split pushing. That's what he does. So seeing the Orianna instead is fine. Like, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what they lock away for. They're not going to take away the Cannon, so like, Amazing J's still going to have plenty of things that he can play if he wants to take a carry matchup into the Galio. And then the Ashe band away. One band at the bottom lane with leaving the ADC unpicked, but SMLZ is going to take the Jhin. That's a classic pick of his, comfortable for him. Varus priority's been really down in this tournament compared to what it's been in other points of this world. That's another pick that we haven't seen the priority on. This is 7.9, so not quite. Now I guess 2 patches old with the release of 7.11 later today. But the Jhin, we've seen the Jhin a little bit. It's been played. Who played the Jhin? I don't remember who. Oh yeah, and he's got the Kled too. So Kled's good. I don't know how I feel about the Jhin. The Jhin's just a lot of his build path and itemization and mastery and damage has gotten nerfed in the last year. So like it brings the things that it brings, and it brings a relatively comfortable laning phase. But I don't know about the pick here. But fair enough. If that's what you want to go, then that's what you want to go. In return, we get Kled and Talia. Boy. And you can pick, so you can pick the lane, you can pick the comfortable big team fight pick into the Talia with the Syndra. You can try and pick a more aggressive counter to it like the Echo, but I think the Syndra probably just makes the most sense in a team perspective. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. I really don't want to be SMLZ this game. Holy moly, they have a lot of I'm gonna come get you threat with the Kled and the Talia wall and the Lee Sin. This has 5-man dive bottom lane level 6 written all over it. Like, in every possible way from IMay. Like, so we're gonna see IMay probably play some aggressive dive comp style. That is what I have a feeling at. Now, like, I don't think OMG's team comp is necessarily bad. Like, Syndra's a great pick. We've seen how strong Syndra is, and she can definitely do quite well in the lane into Talia. But then, like, she too, like, if she doesn't get her disengage right and she becomes the primary threat, they can just go jump on her. But yeah, I'm interested to see this. Like, it's a well-played Jhin can still do well in this team comp. But, like, we've seen higher priority on Varus across the rest of the world. We've seen higher priority on Xayah across the rest of the world. Ooh, and we have that thing I didn't like about... was it game 2 that WE played Galio with nothing to go in with it? Was it that game that we did that? Kind of the same problem here, right? You've got Elise who can kind of do it, and you've got Thresh who can kind of do it. But, like... we saw how poorly those team fights worked. And that game had a Jace in the mid lane instead of a Syndra, so it's slightly different, but like... I worry about that having some of the kind of same problems moving into the late game. So I don't know. I would favor IMay's team comp going into this. I just think that like its goals are so obvious. It feels like it feels like you know exactly how you want to play the comp. You have to not overdive, obviously, which is the problem with all these dive comps. Um, because we've seen some dives go horribly wrong. That's for sure. If you've been watching this tournament since the previous stage, we've seen some bad target prioritization. Hey, they actually showed me masteries, and we're immediately into the memes. Let the memes begin, friends. Even the players can't help but. Is that? Please tell me that's Road. Those of you who know player faces better than I do, that's the camera zooming in on Road after all of the delicious pause questions during the summer split quarterfinal between these two teams that went to some amount of drama about the amount of pause in it, in amongst an WE reverse sweep that some called the 4-2 reverse sweep. So interesting. We will see if we can discern what the problem is from our end of the stream here and be back into game as soon as we can. We'll get to see some nice OMG fans in the crowd. And what looks like, for a quarterfinal day, it looks like a nicely full venue. The venues looked really nice in some of the wide shots we've seen of it. Yeah, this is the venue in Changsha, which has been nice to see our first day of today. Was it Jinjiao? Okay. Still funny, because memes. Yeah, we'll see. Like, both comps can definitely work. I just think I like IMay's better. Like, I just think it makes sense, and the goals are really easy. They're certainly not that it can be outplayed, but that's I am allowed to make that objective judgment and watch it go horribly wrong. God knows we've seen that a number of times before in these games. I forget what the series was that I was it this series? Was it IMay Suning that I called exactly what was going to happen before every game and was totally wrong every time? It might have been that series. Where I like aggressively hated one comp every time and that comp won the game. Because God knows that's happened. That's part of the game. Wish my headset wasn't twisted. Stop being twisted. Alright, well, I'd like to get back into game. We've seen 6 seconds of this game. Nothing happened. It wasn't It was Vici Young Glory. That's what it was. It was Vici Young Glory. It was the last game with the Jhin in it, right? It was the Jhin Zyra bot lane that I aggressively hated, and then it was the Leona pick in game 3 that I aggressively hated, and both ended up just winning the game. That's what it was. It was Vici Young Glory. Which, if you'd like to see me get tilted from being very wrong about how those series went, those VODs are on YouTube. If you would like to enjoy that series. That was interesting. Leona, I have no idea how that Leona worked, but it totally worked. All those World 6 fans can't be the most pleased right now, given that he's, you know, not playing. So we'll see. It doesn't look like any of the players are working with maintenance or anything. Yeah, so we're back in the game. There we go. Alright. No aggressive 5-man level 1 invades to blow summoners this time. Saw that once in WE series and worked pretty well, but none of that this time around. Typical line of scrimmage. At least going to send out a volatile spiderling to do a little bit of scouting. Amazing J and G. I'm going to trade some attacks. The bear trap on a rope gets the tug back and doesn't do much else. So looks like pretty typical start here. I wonder why. Guess Thresh was just hanging out in base waiting for the minions. Interesting. All right, so Looks like pretty typical starts with the junglers here. Talia's gonna maybe try and harass Syndra out from helping with the Elisa's Raptor take, but doesn't end up getting there or doing anything. Even takes a little bit of damage in response. So, like, I feel like this should be such an aggressive bottom lane for IMay, but nice early flay from 5 wins that trade pretty comfortably. Gets the way out of the bouncing grenade, but I don't know. This is like, on paper it feels like such a strong bottom lane for IMay, right? But like, Thresh can be really impactful with his playmaking ability, so who knows? We'll see. Nice little bit of early trading from Athena. I don't remember if we saw Athena on the Talia in IMay's previous games. We actually didn't see him in their previous series on the Talia. I'm not sure if we did in the round of 20 series, which I didn't get to watching today. But in the round of 12 series, he played Orianna Karmazillion. So, and oh yeah, I've forgotten to check the Doran shields. Jay-Z is here. This is a interesting little bit of a skirmish here that's not going to do anything. Or, not Jay-Z. That's not Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a support that plays for a different team. That's J-Co, I guess. I'm going to screw that up so many times this game. It's the K instead of a Z. That's a hook landing, and we immediately go away from it. Road's dead, probably. Okay, bye. First blood in the Thresh. Yeah, you can't eat the hooks. That's the thing with this lane, as with many lanes with Thresh. I like how the Observer panned away from that immediately as the hook hit. That was just, like, I don't even think it was their fault. That was just flawless timing. Everything you could ever want. And now Caitlyn's going to go ahead and get pushed off this wave a little bit. I was going to say, is this brother Road? So Road kind of just walks up and dies with both summoner spells up. And then flashes out and still dies because that's what happens. Alright, yeah. Game 1 Road again. Road fed for the entirety of Game 1 in their last series and looked really bad on Braum. And then carried Game 2 on Bard. Maybe he should just be playing Bard. Screw Leona. Leona's bad pick. Alright, well that's first blood onto the Thresh. And an assist onto Caitlyn, which is going to mean a nice early push for them. And they look like they might want to be aggressively taking more advantage of that. It looks like this has gotten sniffed out by IMay based on the picks in the bush. Nice sidestep by Jinzhou to avoid the death sentence. We'll see if they walk up into J-Co waiting in this bush here. Because only the flash on Jinzhou left in this bottom lane. And it looks like, yeah, he's going to get back to base without getting anything off. But that could have been a little bit interesting had they walked up. But looked like he got pinged out, so they might have recognized the pathing there and recognized that danger. So, good on them. Ben 4 is going to get into the OMG jungle and steal some raptors away before the Spiderling can find him. So, oh, 5. Lulu's going to get CC'd for a long time, and the shielding is going to be good, but Polymorph on SMLZ is going to prevent some of that damage. Still, just Road's down to half health immediately. Again, can't, like, it's almost one of those things that, like, you have to know when you're landing against Thresh. If you hit the hooks, it's a problem. So if 5's going to keep landing these hooks, lane's going to be a problem. So, nice trading from Athena. Looks like he's enjoying the better of this lane. We saw, obviously, Rookie being very, very good, enjoy a strong performance in this lane in Game 3 of the previous series. And J-Co's worked his way around to the back of Talia, and is just going to get some vision into the jungle. Doesn't look like he's going to go anything, and Talia is playing up here. But, yeah, doesn't look like anything. Athena's going to back safely without problem. Thresh got a little bit of a roam to help with some vision, too. Yeah, nice deep wards on the bottom side of this jungle. Now, 5's got a good position here. And here's nice sidestep from Jinzhou, but he's got to walk into the damage. There's the flay into the cocoon. But doesn't look like they got anything for that. So nicely dodged out of a lot of that from the IMay bottom lane. Still, a little bit of a lead on this gen already from the early pressure. Now, aggressive trading from Amazing J. Ben 4 is here to support him. Gets the tether on diving and Galio is a dangerous thing to do. You're both low, but they're going to get it, and Ben 4 is going to live with not very much health. Alright, they got away with diving the Galio. Nicely played. That's kill onto your split pusher early. That's good for IMay. So, gets the knock-up, and then pull back, and then Kled just gets that auto attack damage off, and nicely killed. Cool. Alright. Road is rather far up without any friends and is just going to die again. Not. Road. Why are we doing this again? Alright, and this is going to be... It looks like they're going to let Jinzhou deal with this and maybe put some eyes onto this Infernal Drake that we've had a lot of first spawn Infernal Drakes today, which has been excellent to see, but most of them have been kind of taken without context, or contest, not context. The lack of contest comes with the context. Let's stop with those tongue twisters. The end. But Infernal Drake goes over to OMG after Road walked up for no reason and died in the bottom lane for a second time. The end. So nice early advantage for them. I didn't quite catch what the next Drake was going to be, but we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. So interesting early game. Rather interesting from Road's perspective, but you know how it is. You'll have that. Ben 4, meanwhile, has accrued himself a massive CS lead and an experience advantage here. Rather than, he's gotten the one gank off in top lane and is going to come deal with this red buff as well. That's going to go over to him as well. Jiang can't get there in time to defend that, and as warded up as that red buff might be, it is still taken away. So Ben 4 has gotten one nice gank off and is still got a level experience and probably a lot of gold experience advantage too. So what can he do with it would be the obvious question. But nice early game from Lee Sin so far. And I mean, it's not like Elise doesn't have a kill, so. Yep. Looks like Athena is better at avoiding the harass from Syndra. Amazing J is here. Looks like he was just pinged MIA. He's good. Interesting that he's got the push ahead of Galio. Looks like he's got the team out completed early, so he's going to have some pretty decent wave push even against the triple D ring Galio. Jin looks like he's going straight for an IE, which, fair enough. Not exactly the kind of champion you see a Blade of the Ruin King build on. Is up an entire pickaxe on Jinzhou with the 20 CS and 2 assist lead that you might see. So SMLZ is going to do some pretty serious damage with those auto attacks. Looks like 3 people bot lane here, and let's see what we can do. Jin's going to get some nice auto attacks onto that. That's going to happen, but just going to get pushed off. Both junglers down here to keep an eye on the situation, but nothing too serious happens. Athena's here clearing a ward. Yeah, I may need to... Okay, Syndra's backing now. They've gotten a little bit of ward control in River, and it looks like bottom lane's getting pushed in again. This would be a great time if Athena sees the opportunity. He's going to push this wave up. I'm just going to recall. I think they could still, like, with the back timings from Galio and Syndra right there, if he could get it far enough down River to get towards that Jhin and get some serious damage on them, they might have been able to put in a winning trade. But it might be too risky with how much gold is on Jhin already to try and fight into that at all. But like Lee and Talia were in a position where they could have gotten in there if they wanted to, and could have had a numbers advantage, I think, almost assuredly, especially with the teleport. But not to be. Let's see here. It looks like I may have been able to get control of their bottom side jungle back a lot better. It looks like that's a pretty good trade from Icon. Just there, finally hit a stun onto Athena, who is running cleanse, so he's not in that much danger. Ben 4 is going to solo out this Rift Herald. This is going to be just as early of a Rift Herald as we saw early game. I'm interested more junglers don't go for this. Like, we've seen Kha'Zix able to do it, and we've seen, like, Lee Sin can obviously do it. A lot of junglers can solo this. I'm impressed that there hasn't been more done, like, more plays like that done. Might just be because their vision control around there wasn't even that good, right? Like, it was just the fact that he had pushes in both mid and top, and it looks like they're gonna. I wonder if they're gonna use that Rift Herald up in top lane. They probably should if they don't want to lose first turret here, because they're gonna lose first turret here. Yeah, there's Rift Herald. Did they use it in time? And nope, they needed to get that out earlier. Oh, that was by like half a second though. Yeah, no, because Lee Sin had zoned Xiang off the tower before he got there. If he gets the Herald out as soon as he gets up to that lane, like, and yeah, Herald's gonna get some good time on the 2-2, but you would have gotten first brick if you get the Herald out as soon as you get up there, rather than messing around. I will move the mic closer and see if that makes it better. I can adjust some things if it is not better soon. Hadn't heard any problems before this, so just keep me posted if it's bad. I am watching chat. It's been a while since I've seen Red Buff get knocked back by the blast point. That looked a little hilarious. Okay, so looks like early itemization is going in pretty stable. Talia looks like she's going to go for the Banshee's Veil first, which we are starting to see more common, sometimes with a Lost Chapter on top, but Talia not always going for the Merlinomicon. Makes that less surprising. Yeah, that's going to be a Banshee's Veil first for Talia. And Syndra is going... We'll see which thing she finishes first, because she's got the Haunting Guys in addition to the Lost Chapter. So she can either go and finish the Leanders before finishing her Merlinomicon, which would be interesting. Not sure we've actually seen that much. We usually see the Merlinomicon finished first, but might just be the Haunting Guys into Merlinomicon. Also works. Gives that little bit of magic penetration into even just the Null Magic Mantle that the Talia's got is going to be pretty helpful in continuing to trade well. No, yeah, Jhin went straight for the IE, which, fair enough. I do not know that much about Jhin builds at this point, so I don't know if that's a surprise or not. And we'll see what Zeal item he chooses to go for. I don't know if Ben 4's got the smite, so we should get that, and is going to get out before the damage comes in. So they could Jhin ult and try and stop these backs, but wouldn't really do that much. So it looks like the pressure is starting to move towards mid lane from OMG here. I suspect that Jin's going to clear that wave out and then run towards mid. Thresh is already there. We'll see if... Alright, Syndra's roaming up towards Amazing J, and he immediately backs out and senses that kind of pressure maybe heading his way. So... Banboat, strong for WE. Not particularly surprising. They should be the favorites in this. Show me the CS. I want to see if Amazing J has picked up a lead at all on the Galio in CS. He's got the 1 kill lead already, but could be more. Perfectly estimated damage onto the blue buff by Athena, not having to burn anything else other than the Q to finish that off with every last rock. Yeah, Cled's up to a 20 CS lead in the top lane and looks to be in relatively firm control of that lane whenever he wishes to be. Which Amazing J has certainly shown some propensity for killing his opponent in these split push wars and becoming a huge threat. Did that in one of their round of 12 games to exert some serious pressure on the Fiora pick. We've seen a lot of interesting picks from Amazing J and a lot of carry picks. So, see if he can continue to use that pressure to his advantage. Nice comfortable wave clear there with Bear Trap on a rope and the Tiamat. It looks like OMG, instead of looking at mid as they thought, have rotated to top, and with Kled backing, they're going to be able to get a lot of work done. Yeah, that's... And you can already see the pings from IMay onto the bottom lane, opposing map turret, a cross-map turret, but their wave is nowhere close, and this turret top one's going to go down way faster. Yeah, they're not even at the wave yet. Or the wave's not even at the tower yet, and it's going to meet another wave maybe before it gets there. So that's going to be a turret cleaned out. And Galio might just be able to get there and stop that bottom lane turret from going down. Athena's got nice pressure in mid here, but like Galio can just clear that wave out, and that turret in bot lane's not going to go down. So that's a clean turret advantage over to OMG. Good rotation from them. And that bumps them into 1,000 gold lead. So we've certainly stabilized here after the couple of early deaths on road in the bottom lane and the successful gank in top lane. OMG with a better rotation to get the turret. Drakes we've got the early Infernal for OMG, and then Mountain for IMay that was equalized as the second Drake. So yeah, and we already had Herald. Normally I'd be looking at Herald right now, but it is already gone. So just not much to work with on the map right now. Both teams will probably have some decent eyes on mid lane, especially with Jhin working his way down to bot lane. If IMay can get the rotation right, they might be able to get some extra pressure on mid, but it kind of looks like they're just content to farm out. Caitlyn's back on her way bottom lane to catch that wave when it comes in. So, yep, pretty quiet game early. I still want to know which item Syndra's going to finish first. She hasn't been back for a while because she's had that same itemization since the last time I looked, which was probably 5 or 6 minutes ago at this point. So, and Caitlyn also finished her Infinity Edge first, which isn't necessarily what we usually see on the Caitlyn builds. We usually see like an 80 item or two, and then we finish the Rune's Hurricane. But she's gone straight to the IE first, and that Ben 4 is going to go in, get flashed away from on 5. I don't think he did actually burn the kick. SMLZ still might. Yeah, Amazing J's there. Dead SMLZ. Here comes the Kled. That's going to be 2 kills for the Kled. Hello, 3-0 Kled. You're here. Everyone is dead now. Yeah, like the readjustment to the Dragon's Rage kick from Lee Sin was pretty good from the bot lane, but the damage was already done. And Kled gets there with a Jhin at 25 health and says, "Yep, that's going to be my kill." So, 2 kills for IMay. What can they pick up across the map as a result of that? It looks like they're going to get these eyes on trying to equalize the side lane turrets. Lulu and Karma are on there, and it looks like Syndra is going to be forced to stay mid by Talia. So this might take them a wave or two, but it's going to be equalizing the turret game and should push them into about 1,000 gold lead. So let's see this interaction again. Road gets back. Oh, but he kicks SMLZ back, and then SMLZ gets the lantern over the wall, but he's at like 5 health, and Kled's in the back line, and it doesn't matter. So, did get the kick onto the desired target. I missed that interaction the first time. Meanwhile, looks like IMay's bottom lane is dying, and jungle is dying, and how many kills to Syndra? 3 kills to Syndra. How did that happen? I'm going to guess Galio TP'd down and caught them off, and Syndra rotated well, and they did not respect it. Alright, now we got a 3-0 Syndra to compete with the 3-0 Kled. I'd love to know, I know they were pushing down in that bot lane, but it must have been like Galio just hitting a TP onto that. Oh, so the Galio ult to bring in some damage reduction. This is very obviously known that it's going down, and I don't think OMG's Baron damage is that good, actually. Jin's not the best champion at taking Baron. Amazing J's the only one there, and the rest of the team's coming in. He's going to have to be the one-man hero here. He's going in an SMLZ in the back of the pit. Alright, oh, this might be bad. Who's going to kill the Baron? This might's already done. Kled gets the Baron. Talia gets 3 kills. 4 kills. Yep. Was that a worse Baron call than the Vici Baron call? That was a worse Baron call than the Vici Baron call. This is the problem we always saw with Jhin in the spring split, right? Is like Jhin comps are great. Jhin does a lot of good things. Jhin is not that great at taking Baron, just because he has a limited amount of damage that he can do to it in a short amount of time. And you just saw it, even with a Mountain Drake, they took so long to kill that Baron that Kled was able to just sit in that pit and do so much damage to them, and then the rest of the team just gets there to clean up. Talia gets, I think she just got a quad got all 4 of those kills. And Kled got the Baron, which is just like, that just, ugh. Okay, so here's Amazing Jay stalling out. The Baron's still at 4,500 health, and like they're doing the best they can to finish that off. But here's Athena in the back of the pit. Amazing Jay's onto the back line, and Athena just two-man knockback onto Icon and Jayco. And then at that point, like, the smite's dead, Kled finishes off the Baron, and everyone's just dead. Like, the knockback from Talia onto the two priority targets while Kled just kind of kills Jin in the back of the pit was... That's the fight. Like, that's it. The damage is dead. Whoo, boy. Well, that's a couple of turrets picked up for IMay and a quick 5,000 gold lead. Yep. Well, that should put IMay into pretty conclusive control of this game. Let's see. Kled ult's up now. Road's dead. Alright, well that should stall some of the pushes. Now, IMay are still making some aggressive eyes up here at Galio in the top lane. Galio's got a Sunfire Cape and another thing, so he's, and a Haunting Guys. So he's not the most, like, our IMay throwing. Hook hits onto Ben 4, doesn't get followed up on. Alright, Athena's here, so this is a 4... IMay are looking to maybe try and fight this 4v5. Looks like the Kled ult's already gone in. I don't know about going in on the 4v5. You can do it. Alright, Ben 4 has got the Resonating Strike. Doesn't look like he wants to try and go in and get anybody. And Jin with the Static Shiv is going to be able to do a little more damage to minion waves than he might otherwise be. So, But the thing is, like, IMay have such good wave control right now. Like, the wave's going to hit this bottom lane. Well, no, that wave's going to die now. But that bot lane wave's pushed all the way up. The mid lane wave's pushed all the way up. Ben 4 went in and died. And now, like, you got to be a little careful to Galio engage because you're fighting 4v5 again. Looks like that was a nice disengage onto Ben 4 by the members of OMG to not let him actually kill anyone. Syndra was his target very clearly, and she did not die, and he didn't. So, winning trade. IMay throwing a couple of kills away, and not... Like, they got a couple... I think they cleaned up a couple outer turrets and broke mid 2. But they're probably, with throwing these kills away, they're not going to be able to break the base, I don't think. So, probably kind of not the most ideal use of their Baron, with Road getting caught over the wall by the Thresh Hook, and then Lee Sin seeing the magic and believing in the magic failing him. I don't know. I don't know about the call. I don't think he'd... Like, with Vici, it's one thing, because they were so frickin' far ahead. But, like... There's just a limit to the amount of damage you can do to Baron in enough time. And while, yeah, credit to Amazing Jay for doing a great job of stalling them out and doing as much damage as he did, they just took too long to do it, and the kills that they got didn't end up mattering. Like, the idea was good, but there's a certain point where just, like... I don't know if they could have gotten out of the pit, but yeah, just got to be a problem. You have to know how fast your comp can take Baron. Oh, and they had an Infernal. They weren't even the ones with the Mountain. I made the Mountain, so screw my earlier point about them trying to take it with them maybe being in better shape with the Mountain. Read my dragons completely wrong. Cocoon from Jayco doesn't hit anything. And IMay are back in the mid lane, but Baron's dead, so Syndra's a champion that can just fix them having pressure. But again, like, their waves all continue to be pushed up in the right places. Talia's gonna go make sure that bot side wave's gonna get pushed. Mid's gonna be at the turret. Top's gonna be at the turret. Like, there's not much OMG can do on the map at this point. And while the big objectives aren't up for another minute and a half, IMay are just gonna be able to keep putting pressure. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to actually get turrets, though, which is the problem. Is right now they're kind of just funneling farm into OMG, but, like, as long as they are on top of making sure their vision is just immaculate for Baron in a minute and 10 seconds, that's what it needs to be right now, because there's no excuse for them to just not. So, like, right now, we've got Lee Sin buying you buy a Ruby Crystal. So Lee Sin has no control ward. That's not great. Athena hasn't backed, and probably won't, so he won't have any wards. Caitlyn doesn't have any wards. Lulu's got 2, but that could be better. So, I don't know, I just feel like they could be doing more to secure Baron vision pressure now. They could also just take Drake first, but that means that, like, if you commit to taking Drake first with more than one person, it means, like, OMG's gonna, like, Thresh has just been in the jungle clearing out wards this whole time. So, I may have no real control over vision of the Baron. Like, what are they doing? They're farming out and taking control of Dragon, which, great. That's fantastic. It's gonna be Mountain Drake. So here Baron's gonna spawn. I don't think OMG are going to rush it again. I would be shocked if they made that call, because that would be a terrible idea. But it's just like, I feel like IMay could have had such better control of the vision of that area than they did. Like, Lee Sin can go solo that Drake on his own. And you're trying to keep pressure up in the lanes too, right? But Baron's the objective on the map that's going to do you the most work. So why not try and keep better control over it? Like, they don't have the scuttle. Is Road dead again? Road's alive. Has to use all of his important stuff on himself. Now, Xiang's just in the middle of the enemy team. Amazing J is also in the middle of the enemy team. It looks like we're going to just get a full disengagement. But that's Road getting caught again. Like, he lives this time, but he has to blow his ult on himself. Has to blow all of his shields on himself. Like, you want to be ulting your Kled running into the enemy team. That's who you want to be ulting. Just get as much knock up and CC as you can get onto the enemy team. And anyway, Amazing J's just kind of in the back line amongst 4 people. He's going to take a lot of damage, but 5's just going to die. Athena cleanses out of the stun from Galio, so that's alright. 305 Kled can just walk into 4 people and nothing will happen. This is also... I mean, Ben 4 is going to take a lot of damage from this. They must be looking to peel this. Like... Or they're just going to get it clean. Alright. Lee Sin is going to flash and Q and try and find... Did Elise just not able to get into the pit? Athena's in some trouble here, and I may need to not throw this fight on the way out. Now, keep in mind when you're looking at this fight, Ben 4 flashed out of the pit to try and go kill SMLC, so he has no flash right now. Now he's going to W into the taunt, get Jayco, and now Icon's kind of just dead on the backside of this fight, because Amazing J doesn't care about the Syndra damage. So, whatever. Alright. They know what they're doing. That's 3 more kills over to IMay and Baron super cleanly. How did... Okay, I must have just missed how fast they were killing Triple Mountain, that's why. I wasn't expecting the Baron to die that quickly, because I didn't look at the Drakes. Yeah, this should be... This top lane turret's going to go down with no contest. Looks like the rest of IMay are going to push mid. Amazing J might as well just go bottom lane now, and start to push that up. We'll see if they just send Talia down there instead. But at this point, like, you might as well just keep Talia group with your team or keep her in Fog of War so that you maybe get some good angles on the thing. Or they just keep Amazing J up here and let him pressure. Yeah, like, they can do whatever they want at this point. They'll probably go for bot lane tier 2 just to try and finalize that and see if they can get... Looks like they're going to get to this wave bot lane in time to have a nice big wave ready. So how much of this wave they can keep alive on its way to the inhibitor turret? Like, the tier 2 turret shouldn't be a problem. And Syndra's going to get here and get forced away as much as she can by Caitlyn ult damage. But yeah, they're going to clean up that turret no contest. And yeah, they do. They kill turrets so quickly. And yeah, this could have been so much more if they didn't throw at Baron. OMG. But yeah, this is... I don't know about that teleport. Like, it's going to finish, but the turret's going to go down because none of OMG can get there to clear the wave because of a nice Weaver's Wall. And meanwhile, Amazing J has just killed the turret in mid lane by himself. And yeah, this is going to be 2 inhibitors going down. I don't know how we're going to... Ooh, Caitlyn's going in. Alright, we gonna get any fights out of this? Nope. OMG can't find anything. 2 inhibs down for nothing. 13,000 gold lead. This is probably just about GG. And if my breathing has become too bad, it's because somebody earlier said that my voice is too loud, so I moved my mic closer. If the breathing is too bad, I can move the mic back farther away, and we'll see which end of the spectrum we get. So, I will adjust my mic placement a little bit and see if I can prevent that from happening again. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so it's the same kind of question we had with the Galio last game, right? Galio hasn't been able to use his ult aggressively at all, which, like, the fact that he can use it defensively is great, but it reduces some of the impact that he can have on team fights, and it just has seemed underwhelming for me because of the pick ban. Yeah, it's just like I don't think I see like the synergy of the Galio pick with the rest of the comp, because they picked the Galio first round of draft, right? Like, so you could have, I think they could have picked, yeah, IMay picked Lulu first, so they could have picked like Galio Lee Sin and had like a pretty decent option for the Galio to hold into. Okay, here's the Weaver's Wall. It's going to zone everybody but Galio and Thresh away from the turret, which gives IMay pretty free time to get onto it. Jiang's taunt doesn't hit anybody. He's going to get Thresh whisked on out of there, but this turret's already down to half, and meanwhile, Kled's just killing your Nexus turrets. Yep, and now that you've looked at him, your top inhibitor turret's gone, and now there's minions on your only remaining Nexus turret. Lots of them. Alright, that's 3 inhibs down. Kled's just kind of zoning here. Nexus turret's down to half health. The big super minions are finally dead. But there's about to be more of them coming in from the bot lane. Few more in a little bit from the mid lane. And then the minion wave for the top wave is going to get here. It looks like Baron's down. So there's that at least. It's going to be a little bit easier to clear these waves. But there's literally 1 turret left on the map. And, I mean, now Galio doesn't have taunt. So they can just walk up and auto-attack that, yeah. So my stream's going to freeze, but I suspect I'm going to come back to a dead Nexus. Second time today we've had this. Oh, nope, we're back. Kled's really big and got Lulu ulted, and SMLZ kind of can't do anything. Yeah, and now all of them are out. Flash hook by 5 doesn't do anything. Can they turn the fight before the Nexus is dead? No. Goodbye, GG. That's just the thing, is when you're that far behind, you need a way to engage a fight, and Galio has flash taunt when he can't ult onto anyone, and that's it. No, it's all good. I might just be... I appreciate you letting me know, because I can, like, adjust that as necessary. So, because it's something that somebody commented on the other night, and I want to make sure I was doing that. So, Nemaniolysis, no big deal. Also, which Nemanja is your name in reference to, if I might ask? If there's a particular Nemanja it's in reference to. Alright, we'll see how much the Chinese stream finally caught up from the lag. Cool. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's kind of that same problem we saw in IGWE Game 2, right? Like, you pick the Galio, and the Galio's great, right? But the Galio needs help. Oh, you're a Chelsea fan, rip. Unlucky. Except lucky because you won the league, and whatever. No. Like, I respect Nemanja Matic, and he's very good at the football, but Nemanja Bjelica is the true Nemanja of excellence. So, we are going to see... Alright, here's the good fight for OMG that we still never actually saw the setup for, other than, like, Caitlyn and Lulu were up taking the thing. Okay, here's Amazing J. So yeah, like, OMG are using every ability except Thresh Hook on killing the Baron, and it takes, like, 2,000 damage in those seconds, right? And by this point, like, Athena's here able to throw all this damage at Baron. Your jungler's knocked up and dead. Kled gets the Baron, and, like, they just didn't kill it fast enough. So, that's game 1 to IMay. Alright, that ruins my prediction. I said 3-0 OMG. Cool. We are 5 minutes away from game 2. After a excellent game 1 victory by IMay. It'll be about 2:41. And with that, yeah, I mean, we saw what we saw. I thought that I really liked IMay's pick ban. I wasn't as much of a fan of OMG's. I was worried about their ability to engage with Galio, and it turns out, like, I think that would have been fine if the game had stayed even and Galio had had an easier time getting in there. But like the Baron fight was bad. Like, we can acknowledge that it wasn't great. Yeah, and Road did kind of feed a little bit, but these things do happen. We've seen that before. Him getting caught was the only reason that the first Baron push wasn't worse from IMay. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to drink some water and take the headset off. I'll be in chat talking if we need to talk.